played the same thing again. But people love talking about adjectives. Okay. Now here's the thing about adjectives: they're subjective. Okay. I mean, if you really believe that the night is morning, you can actually sit down and argue with somebody saying it's morning because you believe that's what morning means. So, point being that all of the shit I'm going to say, it's going to be dark, it's going to be bright, it's going to have too much mirchi in it and all of that. It's your prerogative. You listen to how each of them sounds like and draw your own conclusions about what it should sound like. What it sounds like to me is that a hollow body guitar sounds dark, right? Almost like an acoustic guitar. A semi-hollow sounds like kind of medium bright. Medium. Okay, yeah. So it sounds like somewhere between like a solid body and a hollow body. Okay. Um, and please bear with me, like this is going to be like subjective, but this is what it is. Broadly, like, if you get into, if you meet like a bunch of guitar players and you all sit down, you can come to this common conclusion. Although after a lot of arguing, because guitar players love to argue, but you like these conclusions. Okay, a solid body is typically a very bright sound, right? But it also, there's a caveat, right? It is bright, but it also depends on the species and the density of the wood, the neck, and the chambering, or the weight relief, or how the guitar is constructed, right? So who can say all of that back to me really fast? I'm just messing with you. The second parameter is brightness. Resonance. I'm sorry, I already spoke about brightness. Resonance. So yeah, we had sustained brightness and resonance. Resonance is almost the same or slightly less than an acoustic guitar for a hollow body, which is a good thing. We have resonating stuff, right? Whereas like a semi-hollow has like medium resonance. Everything that I'm going to say semi-hollow is going to start with medium because it's like somewhere in the middle of two things, right? Solid body guitars have little resonance, right? That means everything that a solid body guitar does depends on all of those factors. You know which factors, right? The species and the density of the wood, the way the body is constructed, the chambering, the weight relief, etc., etc., right? Durability. So hollow body guitars are just as durable as a similarly constructed acoustic guitar. Okay, so you can bash somebody's head in with it and the guitar will also break. Whereas a semi-acoustic is nearly as a solid body, that if I do bash somebody's head in, the body might break, but not completely. His head won't go through, right? And the last one is a solid body. That does not break. It's wet. You actually hit somebody's head with it and won't go through. Okay. So yeah, next time you buy a new, smash somebody's head so you know how durable it is. Now, overall tone and acoustic tone I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like connected tone because that will depend on the pickups, right? But a hollow body guitar sounds round, round because the strings are flat wounds, which we're going to talk about again later. But yeah, so it sounds round, it sounds rich, and it's almost as deep and as full as an acoustic guitar that we built in a similar way, right? A hollow body guitar, a semi-hollow guitar is like full, it is rich with some acoustic guitar qualities and some solid body guitar qualities. And solid body guitars have like a very thin acoustic tone, but it also depends on the style of wood and where it was constructed, like the neck chambering and the weight relief and blah blah blah. All right, feedback resistance. These guitars that have like these little holes in it, they're the worst because they're like susceptible to feedback all the time. Okay, so those are the parameters that I choose when I'm like comparing guitars: sustain, the brightness, resonance, the durability, the acoustic tone, and feedback resistance. Does all of this make sense? Because that's going to conclude all of our talks about a guitar so far. No questions? Okay, awesome. All right, now, yeah, before I shut down my topic about guitars, I just wanted to talk a little bit about pickups. All right. So now the deal with pickups are that there are two kinds, right? They're single coils, they're humbuckers. right? Single coil pickups. So initially they were humbuckers, these ones, right? So humbuckers are essentially two cell pickups, like those two Hindi pickups next to each other, right? And this one is like a humbucker, right? And those were the pickups that were in fashion. Eventually, um, these kind of guitars came along, right? So now these are single coils, all right? So this is like half a humbucker. They're more noisy because there is no sort of nothing to balance each other out. But again, they're like, they have a very specific tonal quality. Now, somebody said that, how about we have like both those pickups on a guitar, right? So this, all right? So now this, two single coils and a humbucker, we call a super strat construction, okay? So super strat is built exactly like a Stratocaster, but it has a chamber for a humbucker pickup. Okay? Uh, and the last kind of pickups are acoustic pickups, all right? So the one I'm going to show you right now is called a piezo pickup, all right? Where's the pickup? Let's play Where's the Pickup. Okay, you see this white thing? Yeah, the bridge. That's the pickup, all right? And the pickup back here, there's a battery, all right? And the battery has like wiring going through it. So what kind of pickup is it if it's got a battery?
It's the pickup, I guess.
Yep, yep. Um, anyway, I was just going to answer myself because my Dora the Explorer moments, but yeah, pickups, right? And also like this guitar is named to me because this is actually made out of nylon and cat guts, like nylon string guitar, right? So how did those come about? So like as nylon string was dying out, as classical music as an art form was dying out, just like all the other art forms around it, um, in like the late 1960s, America saw the resurgence of a certain style of music that was out of Brazil, and that style of music was called bossa nova. That nova featured because it was basically like a samba on drugs. So like if say a samba musician did some LSD and everything was in slow motion, it would become bossa nova. So a samba traditionally would be, if I'm audible. Can you kind of hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all.
Yeah, yeah. So a samba musician would go like, right? And so if a samba musician would do LSD, it would just be like, and that's what bossa nova was. Basically, a samba musician on LSD. Actually, that's not true. It does have its roots in samba, but it was actually these like songwriters who were playing these samba rhythms, but really slowly, and they were singing songs about love and relationships, just like Arijit Singh. Uh, but like incidentally, that love was not one-sided, so that's where the music diverges. But bossa nova was a style of music started having like guitars in the scene. So this is the kind of guitar that you would usually see in Latin music. Okay, that's all I have to say about guitars. Phew, thank God. I'm not going to talk about guitars for the next whole year. So if you have questions, keep them to yourself. Okay, now coming to microphones. All right, so microphones are basically three types. Okay, so you can either have a condenser microphone. Okay, you can have a dynamic microphone, and you can have a ribbon microphone. There are subsets of these microphones. Also, ribbon microphones are like dynamic microphones, but they're different in principle. Like they still work on the same principle, but the mechanics are a little different. Okay, so now let me just show you what each microphone looks like. Also, my microphone collection is not as extensive as my guitar collection, so please excuse my substandard microphones. But usually before COVID, we all used to have a life and we could all go to studios and use their microphones. But this is what a condenser microphone looks like. You can also use it to flip an omelette, but I don't use it for that. I've seen people use it though. But this is what a condenser microphone looks like. Okay. Let's see what else. Where's my data? Oh, there it is. Wow. Hold on. I need to look for my dynamic microphone, but okay. This is also a condenser microphone. Okay. Now I'm going to show you another one. Hold on. I'm going to first show you the microphones, and I'm going to explain how they work. Okay. Okay, and this. That is also a condenser microphone. Okay. Now they're all different, and I'm going to explain how. Wait. And they should look okay. I'm sorry, I should have had all of these ready. But this one is my favorite because it looks a lot like a microphone. So this is actually a shotgun bullet that somebody shot. Okay. And they built the chamber of the mic through a shotgun bullet. All right. So this is also a condenser microphone. This dynamic microphone, this is the one you've seen around, at Jagrans and everything. People use these ones, right? So now the basic, I don't have ribbon microphones. So again, like I said, I'm open to gifts. But yeah, mics, what is a microphone? Microphone is a transducer, okay? And that's a pretty big word even for me. So transducer basically means any device that converts energy, all right? This is going to convert energy, all right? I'm going to sing into this, right? My mouth is going to trigger something in it, which is going to be acoustic waves, and that is going to change something in here that is going to convert those acoustic waves in electrical signals that are then going to be transferred through this wire into my system. Okay. And so that's what a transducer basically is, right? So now every dynamic mics, the way they are built in the inside, it's a pretty simple construction, right? They have like a diaphragm that's a very stiff diaphragm, right? And behind the diaphragm, there's like this core of a wire that's suspended around an electromagnet. Okay. Also, don't worry if all of this is like too much information for you, because I'm going to PDF with all of this stuff in there. You need to understand like how each of these microphones work, because it gives them their characteristic. All right.